You know what? I've tried to create a short, but I won't be able to say what I want to say for this Libra lunar eclipse coming up, and I do not want to get cut short and have my uh, astrology forecast short sound stupid. So I'm just going to explain to you what the Libra penumbral lunar eclipse is going to be about, which takes place early in the morning on March 25th of 2024, which is tomorrow during this time. Back in October, I believe it was October the 14th of 2023, I believe the moon was probably in the same position as it is now. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. But you were asked last year to re examine how you were to start partnerships, how you were going to sign agreements, where you're going to find your balance and your peace. We fast forward 6 months ago, in which we are ending those things, or we're getting a review of how those things worked out. The moon is going to be 10 degrees away from the south node, which means that you will encounter people, all of us will encounter people from our past. That's not very fun for me. I don't really like the people in my past, and I'm pretty sure you don't. Or maybe you would, who knows? Uh, but the lunar eclipse is all about reviewing whether these relationships or associations or agreements that are coming back into our lives, whether they serve us, and whether you're truly willing to let go of what you thought you had back in October, or what you agreed or signed upon. This could be a settlement for a lawsuit. This could be a divorce. This could be a work relationship. This could even be relationships with your kin or your friend or your boo. Now, this really applied in my life. I had a phone call, a blow up with a particular relative. You know, we all have those that I haven't spoken to in months. In that moment, I realized, I asked myself, do I want to continue this relationship? That's the kind of thing that we're all going to be faced with if you haven't been faced with it already. Do you want to continue with things, with people, with your work, with your job, with your interests, anything that has to do with partnerships and signing away something or relationships? Is it serving you personally? Are you willing to go into the next phase of your life to continue this particular relationship or agreement in which the universe is calling us to end things? That is what is happening. And by the beginning of tomorrow morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning, where you can't even see the sun, my time in the United States, you'll probably come to the conclusion during that time, or when you wake up the next morning, the day of the lunar eclipse in Libra. Now, I would also like to say that there's going to be an aspect, it's going to be an aspect moon trine Pluto. So the moon is a big, everything's centered around this moon, right? Because it's a lunar eclipse. It's shining, it's putting a spotlight on things that we need to end that's not bringing us peace or balance, okay? It's shining the light on the bullshit. When you have it trining Pluto, just know that there's going to be some secrets that are going to flow out. You'll realize coming up from the next eclipse, or later on the next 6 months, why it was okay to end things on a particular note. The purpose of why we are experiencing such divine endings when it comes to dealings that have no room in our future. So with the moon trining Pluto, you'll find yourself, we'll be in the developing stages of having things being revealed to us as to why things have ended that serve us for our higher good. They could be, you could have been rejected from a job and realized that that job is going to be out of business in the next 3 months, or you turned down an offer in which it was led by a person that was known for doing shady dealings in business. Or you could have stopped buying a particular beauty product, because Libra has to do with beauty. because the company's being sued, or it's a lawsuit against that company that is causing lesions in your skin. Okay, it's messing with your health, your beauty as well. Or you could end some type of creative project because it wouldn't have that much success as you had continued with it. That is what Moon trine Pluto is going to do. It's revealing what was beneath the surface of this lunar eclipse. Now, the next configuration or aspect that we have is Venus sextiling Jupiter. Now, when we have Venus sextiling Jupiter, it's also a beneficial aspect because Venus is the ruler of this lunar eclipse, but it's not really that. Venus is the planet of pleasure. When you have that with Jupiter, which is a benefic planet, and it's making a positive aspect to each other, which means it's going to be relating to each other positively. You'll have positive interactions with the people that you choose to end things with, right? The people who come back in your life. Or perhaps you are learning from those experiences because Jupiter has to do with higher education. You are receiving a higher answer through your conversations through certain people on why life unfolds the way that it does. Endings are not always easy. They're not easy for me. I'm a Taurus rising, so I don't like endings that much. I'm the type of person that will persist and persist and persist. Someone has to kick me out for me to give up. But they must happen that way. And endings teach us something. So that's the Venus sextile Jupiter in that case. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, sextiling Jupiter in Taurus. So I would expect for you to find some type of spiritual rooting that will kind of ground you in your everyday reality that could benefit you in the long run. Maybe you want to invest in something that would benefit that. Maybe a spiritual book or an Eckhart Tolle book or a novel that is very deep, that touches your soul. Something that you can grow from. A novel that says, oh, this changed my life, but you don't know unless you explore it. Okay. Then you have Venus sextile, not Venus, sextile, Venus conjuncting Saturn, both in the sign of Pisces. So now on a soul level, on a spiritual level, we're going forward in our lives, stating to those that we have partnerships with, that we've made agreements or contracts with, we're approaching that with a sense of maturity, saying that we can no longer go on in the ways that we have because we're in a different phase in our lives in which we either approach things with maturity, with constructiveness, with a plan and define it, or we're going to tell those plans and those people to fuck off because the sun is still in the sign of Aries. The North Node is still in the sign of Aries conjunct Chiron, in which we have to also balance ourselves out with this full moon and say, listen, if my association with you, if me doing business with you, if me interacting with you, having relations with you is not beneficial to me on a soul level, okay, that's not helping me become a better person individually. Aries is I am. If I am not reaping the benefits, okay, and you're not helping me in the long run become a better person, or it's not serving me to do business with you, well then to hell with you. And if you don't do that, the lunar eclipse will cut that out for you. Now, when you look in your chart, the full moon or the moon will be at 5 degrees Libra, and so will the sun will be at 5 degrees Aries. So you have to look at those points in which Libra is ending something for you. It's in the spotlight. That is your ending. That's what you're saying hell no to, and that you have to change, or the universe is changing for you. We have no control over it. It's just going to unravel itself. And then you want to look at the opposite of that house where the sun in Aries is, and it's showing where you can liberate yourself in ways that you can come back to yourself authentically before you were getting involved in these projects and these peoples, in this business, in this legal situation, in these binding contracts with your jobs and others. Okay? So that is my forecast reading on the Libra Lunar Eclipse for March 25th, 2024. And I'll talk to you guys later. There'll be more videos coming out, long form videos, as I am getting irritated with shoving information in these little short shorts and sounding like a dumbass. This is the Mystic Nonconformist. Talk to you later. Ciao.